Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Iman and I am watching Death Note. This is episode 2. I am very happy. A little bit like it's nostalgic in a strange way, even though it's not a happy anime. It's nostalgic just because of reading the manga in high school. And I'm glad to be watching this, and I'm sure it's gonna kind of mess with me because I am a bit on the sensitive side, but I know like there's a important message here. So for me, sometimes when I watch like gory shows or stuff about killing, if it's just gory to be gory and there's no reason behind it, it puts me off. For me, it's like my brain just can't handle it. Like, it's like, why is it happening? So when there's like the why, like I understand here the why, it doesn't make it any easier, but it somehow allows me to accept it a better, just in my body, in my mind, spiritually. So I'm like, okay, I can get through it. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, that I just can't watch certain things anymore that I used to be able to watch. And it's when it gets too gory for just no reason, I'm just like, it rubs me the wrong way. But I am ready to jump into this. We'll see what it is about. I'm going to jump in. Let's get to it. It's always him. It's always about his like perspective. And everyone's always like boosting his ego all the time. Calls him out. Him and his apples. Wow. This is always my face too when I hear him talk. You can't create an ideal world from evil when you are using evil to create the ideal world. Do you know what I mean? Is that his sister? I can't remember if he has a sibling. Oh, he does. Okay, I remember this guy. Okay, he wants to kill people all over the world. It's not just in Japan. Yeah. Yeah. The bat signal. Of course he has. This would be interesting. He already figured that out. That's so cool. I mean, he is really smart though. Oh my gosh. Don't boost his ego anymore. Yeah. Oh, his arrogance is frustrating. Wow, they're all my age. I don't like that. Can we figure this one out? Like, oh yeah, Kira. That's what they call him.
救世主キラ伝説かっこいいじゃないか。
殺し屋という意味のキラーから来ているらしい。それは少し気に入らないが、しかし世界中の人間がもう感じているんだ。正義の裁きをする者の存在を。
Righteous judgment again.
学校のホームルームで悪い人間を殺していいかなんて議題が上がるわけがない。
それはいけないことです。
っていうに決まっている。そう答えるのが正しいし、人間は公共の場などでは表面上そうでなくてはならない。
This is why I really loved the manga, because it was going into some really like complicated subjects.
キラが蔓延している。口に出さないだけで。
Yeah.
もうみんな分かってる。
In real life, people would think he was a hero.
これでいいんだ。まさに計画通りにことは進んでいる。
I mean, what's the difference between him and Batman? You know, I guess Batman doesn't kill people, but still, the same concept, basically.
リンドエル・テイラー、通称エルです。
なんだこいつ。
相次ぐ犯罪者を狙った連続殺人。これは絶対に許してはならない。よって私はこの犯罪の首謀者、俗に言われるキラを必ず捕まえる。
必ず捕まえるってよ。
デスノートなんだよ。このノートを押さえない限り、証拠なんて何も残らないんだ。
お前がどのような考えでこのようなことをしているのか、大体想像はつく。しかし、お前のしていることは悪だ。
僕が
I am justice. I am the one who knocks. Freaking Walter White. Ooh, so he's gonna write your name. See, there it is. Wow. That shift of like who's evil and who's not evil now, who deserves to die. It's just when you go against him, now you're evil.
僕に逆らうとどうなるか。世界中が注目しているよ、エル。あと5秒。4、3。
Ryuk's face is always me whenever Light talks. But this is what L wanted. He wanted to make freaking love L. Yep. Nani?
もしお前がテレビに映っていたリンド・エル・テイラーを殺したのなら、それは今日この時間に死刑になる予定だった。
Yes, he does. He does. He's just saying, come on, kill me. Oh, damn. He's getting at his like ego there.
殺せない人間もいる。いいヒントをもらった。
この中継は全世界同時中継と銘打ったが、実は日本の関東地区にしか放送されていない。
I forgot all of this. They know where you are, you dummy. He got like, dang, like 3 different things.
これだけで十分推理で。
When you think you're the smartest person in the room.
ではまた会おう。
Oh man. Awesome this is another awesome introduction. That's the best way to like get to know L. Well. Oh. Ryuk is always like
やっぱり人間って
Moshiroi.
必ずお前を探し出して始末する。僕が
私が
But it's so interesting because they both think that they are like good. But that's the thing. It's like, why do I think L is so good? If he, I don't know. I guess he goes by the rules in a way, but he's trying to sentence Light to death too. So it's like, where's the difference there? So L has Linda Taylor say that he's evil, and that really triggers Light out of his like grandiose thinking. He's just like, what? Wait, I'm evil? How am I evil? I'm helping people. And then even the smile on Lynn's face like is kind of like that thing, like L knows he knows how to trigger Light already without even meeting him. So it's like it's like a game of chess. I guess that's what this is between Light and L. It's like this game of chess. This was the other important part, was him saying all those who would oppose that God, they are the ones who are truly evil. That's so scary. But that's what happens with like dogmatic beliefs. Like if you go against God in a lot of people's like religions, on the extreme sides, they will think you deserve death. I mean, this has happened. People have died. Most wars are because of, well, God said this, God did this. I'm just doing God's will. God says if I kill you, I will go to heaven. I will be rewarded. These are themes that we see in our real world and we've seen historically. So it's always man using God's name for their wars to excuse killing. And so it's sort of like interesting because Light was talking about how if people were not politically correct and we were all talking about who deserves to die and who we would choose to die, like when people are like I would say, oh no one deserves to die. That's supposedly politically correct, and that's the fake thing. But if you're anonymous, then you're probably going to say how you really feel. I do agree with that. I think that's true. But he's a hypocrite because he's saying this, all those who would oppose that God. He's basically doing, but that's the thing about these types of people. They're hypocrites at the end of the day. He thinks that his perspective is the right one. So when you think your perspective is the only right perspective, it makes you delusional, and it does create this like separation where you're like, well, if you don't believe what I believe or believe the things that I'm doing, then you're wrong. And because I am now this God who has this power, that means that you need to die too. I'm trying to like process it as I'm speaking about it right now, but I thought that it was just interesting. It's scary, but like it's important to see this and to have these types of discussions. I think a lot of people, it's hard to say because like the vigilante thing, I always loved vigilantes. I think like obviously we've seen with the police department and all like the corruption in not just the police department, but the corruption in the law. And certain lawyers are extremely corrupt. Certain judges are corrupt. If this goes along with like the Joker in The Dark Knight, or is it The Dark Knight Rises? He's going around killing judges and different people because they're all corrupt. And it's true. I've gone back and forth of like the whole ACAB and this and that, and I have to like sit back and be like, at the end of the day, we are all human, and I think majority of people are trying to do the right thing. They really are. I think people really want safety. People want peace, but sometimes to get to that place, you're going to do things that are against your morals, and if you do it enough, and you have a big group of people doing it enough, you start to think it's okay. This is a prime example of that. Like Light truly believes what he's doing is God's work. It's righteous judgment. And I think that's what's happened in the judicial system. There are people who just think they're enacting God's righteous judgment, and they're forgetting that they are a flawed human being who can become delusional very quickly and get lost in their own beliefs. because we're human. I mean, it's just how we are. And if you're not constantly working on your discipline, there is corruption. Because a lot of people think they're doing the right thing. It's the same thing with the cancel culture. When that started, in a way, like, it helped a lot of people. It really did. It put the people that needed to be in prison. But then it started to trickle out, and we are seeing the negative effects today, where everyone's just like, they need to be canceled. No, they need to be canceled. No, everyone's a Kira right now. They are. And I think if people had a death note, these same people who will go to your YouTube channel or your social media page, and they think you deserve this or that, they'd write my name, they'd write your name, they'd write a lot of people's names. Like, if this was real, if a death note was real, be sure people would use that. I know people would use that. It's just how it is, especially if you're anonymous. It brings up some good it's only episode 2, and it just brings up such important topics. But it's just so cool that the conversations this brings up, the way it's like there's an uncomfortability about it, because yeah, people want to be politically correct. I want to say in my heart, like, I wouldn't do that, or I would hope that we would go for peace. But the reality is, the majority of people probably would be rooting for Light. I rooted for him too. But then I think when he started to go a little nuts, which looks like pretty early on here, it rubs you the wrong way. You're like, come on, dude. Where the point that I was trying to make was, with all the corruption in the police department, all the corruption in the judicial system, of course I would want a vigilante. Of course. And it's like, what's the harm, right? But there is harm. There's always a consequence to something. Like, you can't just do things and then there not be a consequence. It's just like, it is the cause and effect. It is just how it is. It is just how it is. People believe some people are born evil, and I don't believe that. I really don't. I used to say, like, yeah, people are born evil because other people have said that, and I'm just like, I'll listen to what other people have to say, but I just know that that's just not true. For me, and from the way that a lot of psychologists have looked into the mind and have looked into genetics, blah 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 blah. It's divided, I guess, on this, but I am 100% a nurture versus nature. Like, you are nurtured into becoming evil. You're not just born like that. You're just not. So that's why I'm always like, what happened with Light? What happened there? Something happened. But I think if I can shorten this, I'll just say we are responsible for taking care of ourselves as adults. I was talking about self-awareness. I'm not sure if it was the last episode, but most people are just not self-aware enough to see the hurt that they're causing. Hurt happens to everybody, especially in childhood. Majority of people just don't have the tools to know how to connect with their children in the right way. So I'm not casting judgments on anybody. So breathe deep, have a sigh of relief. I'm not doing that. I don't think that's healthy to do that, because I could see in my own personal life, like, the issues that my family and my family's family and the generations of everything that happened, I can see all the cause and effect. And then could see in my own self, I could see the cause and effect, and like going forward. Luckily, we live in a time where we have access to so much help, and we have access to really important people that are really looking into the mind more, and we get to change our behaviors, especially once we are self-aware. So it's just possible. So I think people don't want to look at the nurture part, because then it's like, well, I created that monster. I don't know. It's like Frankenstein, I guess. but yeah, it is hard to see that, and how do you forgive yourself? And that's a whole other thing. But I really think that this doesn't just happen by accident. Maybe you got a brain injury. Maybe you got hit your head when you're very young. Those are causes too, you know, and your frontal lobe like being damaged, tumors, things like that. But I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I'm just saying that the sooner we all really understand this, and the more we work and we just work on ourselves, the better the future is. Like, just trying to get to the future, making sure the future is doing okay, I guess. Yeah, like, that's all. Just keep trying and trying. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. It was a little chaotic, but great second episode. I'm so excited that L has been introduced. I love him, and I'm excited to just keep going on this journey. I just forgot how much I really loved L. But that's it. I shall see you guys later. And I just want to say, these are my opinions. You don't have to agree with me. It's just, I'm a person from my own perspective, with my own perspectives, from my own background. I don't have all the answers at all, but I'm a person who likes to learn and wants to grow and change and be better. That's all. So anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching with me. Bye, everybody.